Today we're talking about the pros and cons of buying a condo. So I've actually been showing a bunch of condos lately, and I figured why not just make a video about the pros and cons of buying a condo. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's Sasa, your real estate market expert here in Charlotte. If you haven't already done so and you want to learn everything there is to know about Charlotte, some of its surrounding areas, and our real estate market, make sure you hit that subscribe button. So let's take a look at Pro 1, which is going to be affordability. So condos tend to be a lot more affordable than single family homes. And in a certain case where you might just absolutely fall in love with a neighborhood and at the time aren't quite able to afford a single family house, looking at a condo is going to be a good option because it can afford you the luxury of still staying in that neighborhood and you can still stay within your budget so you're not having to give up too much. Pro number 2 is going to be location. So condos tend to be built in more popular, high demand, more dense areas, and a lot of them are going to be closer to the center city wherever you're located. So if you want to be in the heart of the city, or if you want to be within walking distance to a lot of amenities and you want to be around a lot of people, a condo definitely might be a good option for you. Pro 3 of living in a condo is going to be sense of security. So a lot of condos actually offer a front desk. You usually need a buzzer to get inside the house, and in some instances you have a gate so not just anybody can park their cars. And with living in a condo, you also have a ton of neighbors, so it can definitely provide that sense of security if you're single and you're living by yourself. Now, Pro 4, which in my opinion is the absolute best pro of living in a condo or a townhouse, which is maintenance. So most condos are going to cover all your exterior maintenance, and that does sometimes include the roof. And I'd probably say 90% of cases, they do take care of the roof for you, so you don't have to worry about changing that 10, 15, 20 years from the time you buy it. And if you're anything like me and do not enjoy doing any outdoor hard labor, then a condo definitely something you might be interested in, and it's definitely going to be the best feature for you. It's just nice to pay an HOA. They take care of absolutely everything, and you take care of the inside of the house. You can't beat it. Pro 5 is going to be amenities. A ton of condos, you'll have pools, playground for kids, some even have dog parks, tennis courts, basketball courts, indoor gym facilities. Some of these condos that we have here in Uptown, I mean, they have barber shops, they have salons. That's really on the high end, but usually you're at least going to get a pool, and it's nice to have one here in North Carolina because in the summertime it does get hot. Now let's get into some of the cons of buying a condo. So con number 1 is going to be you don't own land. So I'm not sure if you know this, but when you buy a home, in most cases, you always got to be real particular to make sure you're seeing what you're buying. In most cases, you're going to own the land that your house sits on. So with a condo, you own the space in between the 4 walls, and you have common interests in the other areas if there's a barbecue pit or things like that, but you don't own any of that. So you only own the space within your 4 walls. You don't own the land that it sits on. Con number 2 is going to be fees. So you do pay an HOA fee, and it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You have to, since you're not doing any maintenance, you have to pay for somebody else to do that maintenance. So the HOA fee, that's going to be money that goes towards fixing the roof, doing the exterior of the house, and keeping up with landscaping. So I've seen HOA fees range anywhere from $100 a month, and I've seen them all the way up to about $800 a month, depending on how fancy of a condo you get. Once you start having concierge and a front desk, indoor gym, barber shop, then you're going to be looking at $400+ a month. That's on top of your mortgage payment already. However, most of the time, HOA fees are going to be anywhere between $100 to $300 a month, all depending on the amenities it provides. So roughly, the average HOA fee here in Charlotte is going to be around $218 a month. Con 3 is going to be lack of privacy. So even though having a lot of neighbors gives you a sense of security, it also doesn't give you too much privacy. Depending on where in the condo you're actually located, you could be having somebody above you, beneath you, and on either side. So if you have kids, a dog, you like to have a ton of people over, sometimes it might be a little hassle if you get too loud. And that's talking about you. That's not to mention the other people that are around you. So you always run a small risk of not knowing who your neighbors are and you know how that can go. There's nightmare stories that I've heard people tell. Most of the time it's all good. And what I personally do when I have somebody that's interested in a condo, I literally go to all the neighbors, up, down, sideways, and I knock on the door. I introduce myself. I let them know that, hey, we have somebody that's interested. I ask them, like, hey, is it loud over here? Have you noticed anything? And things of that nature. Usually it's pretty good because the HOA takes really good care of all the complaints and everything like that come in. But there is that lack of privacy factor that you do have to consider. Con 4 is going to be rules. So every condo, every HOA, every property management, they have their own set of rules, covenants, restrictions for things you can and cannot do.
2 inches over regulation.
Thanks, Cynthia.
So the biggest problem that I've noticed with this is people with animals. So especially dogs, we all know that breed, pit bulls. Everybody's terrified of pit bulls for I don't know what reason. They have a bad rap. They're such sweet dogs. But a lot of places do have restrictions on certain animals, certain breeds, and things of that nature. So it's definitely something to look into before you start condo shopping. All right, everybody, that is the list of pros and cons for buying a condo. If you have any other questions for me or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me. I'm also going to be doing another pros and cons of townhouses and single family homes. So make sure you're subscribed for when that comes out. And if there's anything I can ever do for you, give me a call, text, or email. I'm always happy to help. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.